She said that you made every effort to make her laugh.
She could make anyone laugh.
I'm Barbara Wawa, and tonight we'll be talking to an actual living legend. Never mind.
Gilda Radner just loved to entertain us, and no one knew her better or loved her more than her husband, Gene Wilder.
I would say to her, okay, you win. You got cancer and I don't. Argument is over. But if you didn't have cancer, hey, I'd give it to you right now. That made her laugh.
Look at these babies' bruises. Who did this? Do you really think it was Heather that did this? You really think it was this woman so battered she could hardly walk and 16 broken ribs did this? Let's not forget who did this.
This man did it. It took the jury 8 painful days to decide, and that verdict almost hung them.
How many times does he have to hit her before you think he would intend to cause injury? If it wasn't the first blow, how about the second blow, or the third one, or the 4th time he hit her, or the 5th time? And my voice went up and up.
Oh, boy, rough day for me. Gordy, pump it up.
They call it barking, and around midnight, Arsenio Hall can pump up a crowd like no one you've ever seen before. Where did this barking come from, and what is the audience really saying?
I've heard ladies in the audience say, "Ow, ow, ow." I've heard people say, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," and I've heard people saying, "Woof."
And I've heard people say, Arsenio Hall, now there's a hound. But he says, not anymore. We'll get to that in a minute. Good evening, I'm Connie Chung. Tonight we're face to face with 3 extraordinary love stories. One romantic and touching that will pull at your heartstrings. Another poisoned and tragic that's just impossible to imagine. And one singular and sensational that might give you heart, or at least a good laugh. I want to begin with Gilda's story. Gilda Radner, the unforgettable comedian on Saturday Night Live, who is America's sweetheart. Her husband, Gene Wilder, is the writer, director, and star of such classical Hollywood comedies as Young Frankenstein and The Woman in Red. Together, they were one of America's funniest couples. Then in 1986, a very unfunny thing happened to them. Gilda was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. When she died last year, it was as if it hit our own family. Such is the affection we all had for her. Gene Wilder has not talked publicly about Gilda since that time. It's too private. It was too painful. But now he does, and you'll see why.
Hi, I'm Gilda Radner, and, okay, now.
Did you ever watch Gilda when she was on Saturday Night Live?
I'd seen it a little bit. I've seen more than most people now, because especially when, later on, when she was ill, boy, we used to watch all the old shows when they were on over and over. She used to just love and watch those times.
And this is your graduation gift from me.
Really? Never mind.
We'd lie in bed and turn on one of those rerun shows, and she'd look at herself and say, "Did you think I was funny? Was I good?" And I think when she used to watch, it gave her hope that maybe she'd be doing that again, and maybe she could get away from her illness for a while. And
Gene Wilder's life with Gilda Radner plays like a script from the romantic comedies they made together. They first met in 1981 on the set of Hanky Panky. She was 31 and married once. He was 45 and twice divorced. For Gilda, it was love at first sight.
How'd you find me?
Under a truck.
She was so determined to get a part in his next film, Gilda says she slept with the producer, the director, and the star, all of whom, of course, were Gene. You have a great love story with Gilda. As she tells it, she chased you and chased you and chased you until you caught her.
I caught her because the dog ate rat poison. And,
What?
Yeah.
Everybody say, what? I don't get it.
Well, we had been living together for about 2 years, and God knows I loved her. I not only loved her, but I was in love with her. But she was very insecure, terrified of so many things, afraid to be alone for the shortest period of time. And I thought, having been married before, this could be a disaster.
They were leaving for a holiday together in Europe when the dog accidentally swallowed poison. Gilda gave up her vacation for a trip to the vet, a move that saved the dog's life and won Jean's heart.
She called me up that night and said these following prophetic words. I know you love me, and you know I love you. You're so tired. You need a vacation. You go on to France, and when you come back, I'll meet you in Connecticut, and we'll be together, and we'll be happy. But let's not worry about anything. And I thought, I've been waiting 2 years for her to say something like that. What have I been such a sissy about? And I came back, and I asked her to marry me, and we got married.
Gilda and Jean were married in France in September of 1984.
And do you, Vicky Pearl, take this man to love, honor, and cherish until death do you part?
I do.
I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
They celebrated their first wedding anniversary in London while making the movie Haunted Honeymoon.
Sometimes in small ways we may not agree.
It was the happiest time of her life, Gilda said. But then she started feeling tired and run down. She thought maybe she had the flu.
She kept seeing doctors, and they said, no, everything's okay. What are you worried about, they would say. And she would say, I'm worried I have cancer. Well, it's nothing life-threatening, they said. And she used to complain that they don't believe me, they don't believe me.
Well, the truth is, Gilda was sitting on a time bomb. I mean, she had everything that pointed to the fact that she was going to develop a lethal disease and maybe not be with us.
Dr. Stephen Piver, an authority on ovarian cancer, says there were clear warning signs in Gilda's family tree that could have saved her life. He should know. At the Roswell Park Memorial Institute in Buffalo, New York, Piver has treated Gilda's cousin, Lenore Goodman Rosa, who has successfully fought ovarian cancer for the past 6 years.
Nothing wrong, huh?
Nothing wrong.
Good. Let's take a look at you.
Cancer seems to run in their family.
Okay, here's Lenore Goodman Rosa, who has ovarian cancer, is my patient. And here's her first cousin, Gilda Radner Wilder, who has ovarian cancer.
So the fact that Gilda Radner had an aunt and a cousin with ovarian cancer...
About 1 in 4. She stood a 1 in 4 chance of getting a life-threatening lethal disease.
And add on to that that her mother had breast cancer?
That doubles her chances.
So she had a...
Almost close to 1 in 2 if you add them all up.
And you're saying she didn't know this?
Right.
Piver has compiled a computerized family history of almost 800 ovarian cancer patients, and the list is growing every day.
And of course, the important thing over here also, the relatives that had ovarian cancer, sisters, daughters, aunts, grandmothers, cousins.
His national registry, Piver says, can warn women like Gilda Radner, whose relatives have had the disease and who are likely to inherit it themselves. Do you believe that Gilda's death could have been avoided?
I'm not pointing blame, but I have no doubt, because you have to remember, Connie, it was diagnosed a year later, and she had all these symptoms for a year.
If she had been diagnosed 9, 8, 7, 6 months before, I'm not telling you that I know, but I would bet my bottom dollar that she'd be alive today.
Although Jean stopped acting to care for her, Gilda says he gave his best performances while she was ill, always making her laugh, while all the time keeping from her the secret that she had only a 20% chance of surviving. How'd you find the strength to make her laugh day after day after day going there?
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't think I was that good at what I did. I think I was a schmuck most of the time. I only had one great thing going for me. I thought she was going to pull it out. I never thought she would die. Never. And sometimes she would grab my hand and look at me, stare right into my soul and say, really? Really? And I'd say, if I could live as long as you're going to live, I'd settle right now. And I meant it. I thought that I would die before she did. I thought she would make it.
At one point in her book, she tells us about this incident in which you really yelled at her and you said, I can't help you anymore?
She'd hold on to me and say, make it go away. Make it go away. And I'd say, now, the first time, I'd say, it will go away, and don't you worry, and all this and this. But later on, I'd say, I don't have that power in my hands to touch and do it. I can give you love. I can try and give you hope, but I can't. I'm not your daddy who's going to say, gone. It's gone.
She was making you crazy sometimes.
Yes, but she had cancer, so I would say to her, okay, you win. You got cancer and I don't. Argument is over. But if you didn't have cancer, I'd give it to you right now. That made her laugh.
Mm.
But I meant it.
Hi, Gary.
Oh, Gilda, it's Gilda Radner, everybody.
Gilda was determined not to let cancer steal her limelight. And when she posed for the cover of Life magazine in February 1988, she had beaten it, or so we thought. She returned to television, and from this guest appearance with Gary Shandling in March of '88, she was offered her own network series. But this was to be her last performance.
Don't milk the applause like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. I haven't been on television for a while.
Oh, yeah. What was wrong?
Oh, I had cancer. What did you have?
I just had a series of bad career moves.
We had lots of fun. It's just that she died. You know, if it hadn't been for that, everything would have been terrific. That one thing, that one small thing. Otherwise, it would have been a great success story. I still think it's a great success story. When she got cancer, something happened to her psyche, where she was aware of the most delicate, fragile things of life, in relationships, in the tone of a voice, in a joke.
Are you looking into the camera?
No. No, I didn't.
Don't look into the camera.
I didn't.
Don't. You don't come in here and look in the camera.
I didn't.
I'll bop you.
All the things that she struggled with. She was afraid of so many things. Afraid that the worst things were going to happen to her. Suddenly, she put all that in perspective. And that's why I say it was a success story. That she learned the stuff of life that would help you to lead a happy life. Except, unfortunately, she didn't live long enough to enjoy it.
You miss her, or she's with you anyway?
The essence of her spirit, free from pain, the Gilda that's free from pain, that Gilda is with me. And in that sense, I'm happier now than when I saw her writhing in pain. Gilda was afraid of cancer all her life, and even with wonderful doctors, no one caught it until it was too late because they weren't looking for it.
Now, Gene Wilder is starring in a series of public service announcements written by Dr. Stephen Piver, making women aware of ovarian cancer and the importance of detecting it early.
Okay, stand by, please. Roll tape.
If you're a woman over 35 and have vague abdominal symptoms like bloating, clothes that feel tight, sudden fatigue, backache, don't worry, that's normal. But if the symptoms don't go away, and especially if your family has a history of ovarian cancer, if you were married to Gilda Radner, and then she went somewhere else for a while, the presence doesn't stop. She's still in there hawking. You know what hawking means?
Yes.
Come on. Get the word out. Tell the people. They've got to know this stuff. See your doctor and say you want 3 tests. A pelvic exam.
I'm just going to examine your abdomen very carefully for any fluid or any lumps.
A sonogram.
It's just some radio waves. It's simple. You actually see a picture of the ovary.
And a blood test called CA-125.
If we can detect it when it's limited to the ovary, we can cure 85 to 90 out of every 100 women. Once it gets out of the ovary, we only cure 20 out of every 100.
People write to me and they call it Gilda's disease. And people weren't talking about ovarian cancer but Gilda Radner died of what? Ovarian cancer. So now people want to know about it. happily so. And I just wish Gilda had been one of the people who had read about Gilda's disease and could have benefited from it.
Marker. Action.
It's been almost a year since Gilda's death. Gene Wilder is back at work. And although Gilda's gone, she never seems very far away. When will the grieving end for you?
Well, a certain part is over, and I'm concentrating on being as happy and doing as many meaningful things as I can do. So to that extent, the grieving is over. There's another part that doesn't ever end. I don't want it to end. It keeps me on my toes. All the chemotherapies, all the pain, the torture, and the truth is, it was fun. It was fun. It's the best years of my life. Truly.
Gene Wilder's campaign to fight ovarian cancer is being launched this week. You should start seeing those public service announcements on the air, and you'll probably start hearing a lot more about the disease. Dr. Piver says over the next 5 years, about 100,000 women in this country could die of ovarian cancer. But it doesn't have to be that way if you see your doctor and ask for those 3 tests, a pelvic exam, a sonogram, and a blood test called CA-125. Come on, do it. Gilda's talking to me now. We'll be back in a moment. Coming up, get ready for... Thanks, guys. There may be a few of you out there who are saying, I've heard of this Arsenio Hall, but I don't really know who he is. And even those of you who have seen his late-night television show and are fans may still be wondering who he is. I think the best part of his show is when he's totally outrageous. Then he says, bad talk show host, bad talk show host. I had a chance to meet him when we did a profile on his pal, Magic Johnson, and he was a lot like he is on the air. He's funny, articulate, a little wild. And then for this piece on him, I found there's a flip side to Arsenio Hall, and I don't mean funny, but you have to hang around him a while before he lets you see it.
Oh, they think I'm the executive producer.
That guy coming to work in sweats and denims, he's the boss.
Everybody always wants to know what kind of car I drive.
He's president of his own multi-million-dollar company.
I gotta have this taken off. Have this taken off my ride. Okay, let's play show business. They do E.T. over there. If you want to, we can run and, like, hide under Mary Hart's desk while she does the broadcast or something, man. Maybe not. This is where I live.
The reason things have worked out for me is because I've made an attempt to be real and be a liberator of the bland. And
Liberator of the bland.
So, have you ever videotaped your sex?
not like Johnny. That's what's been hard for people to deal with. It's not that I'm doing something that's not been done. It's not that I'm any more radical than rules that you've seen broken on Saturday Night Live or David Letterman. It's just that...
You don't fit the stereotype.
I don't fit the mold at all.
Get naked! It's Arsenio!
In less than 2 years, Arsenio Hall has fired his talk show for the MTV generation into a contender for the crown of late-night television. He's all over the place, bounding into a frenzied audience, giving them high fives, and spurring them to bark like fans at a football game. He greets the house band he calls his posse, bows to his writers and producers. It's not a television show, it's more of a late-night party, with the hottest stars who never go on other talk shows.
Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy.
I have the most desirable demographic for a lot of film people. My audience, the demographers say, is 12 to 35. They go to see the most movies, drink the most Pepsi, wear the most Reeboks, buy the most albums. You know, it's strange. They can break it down in all kind of little ways and everything.
Sure.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
He's #1 among those who spend the most, a marketer's dream. In some cities, advertisers pay twice what they'd pay for a 30-second spot on Johnny Carson. So even though he's got a smaller audience, Arsenio's satisfied.
I'd rather have a small, obsessed audience like you hear out there every night than to be loved by everybody.
It wouldn't be bad to be loved by everybody.
It would be bad. Because if I was loved by everybody, I'd be doing something wrong.
You think so?
Absolutely. Martin Luther King was a wonderful man, but he wasn't loved by everybody because he had a mission.
And you feel you have a mission?
Oh, I definitely have a mission. I'm definitely rocking the boat. My mission is through laughter to try to bring people together. Now, who does that sound like to you? My idol, the Martin Luther King of comedy, is what I'd like to be.
Fulfilling that mission means mixing a message with the laughter. And before each show, he prays on an Armani-clad knee that he'll succeed.
I pray that I can be the best that I can be.
You ready? Okay, man.
Within that, there is a kid who remembers his neighborhood and wants to reach back and touch the people who are still there.
Even as a toddler, you could see the determination. Arsenio Hall made it against the odds. He grew up poor in a single-parent family in Cleveland, Ohio, in a neighborhood he says was full of failure and apathy. Then how did you, as a kid growing up, believe that you were going to make it? Because everything was working against you in that respect.
I was educated in the home before I went to the school. Very, very well educated at home, well balanced, and to the point of being arrogant.
Arrogant?
Oh yeah, to the point of being arrogant. I had a high school guidance counselor who told me to take shop. And I said, why? She said, because I don't think you're college material and I want you to have a trade. So now you look, and that sounds almost ridiculous. Arsenio Hall was told to be a mechanic because that was about it for him. So if I had listened to her, I'd be Mr. Goodrich right now, you know. I'd be someplace saying, you're gonna get me a plug.
Arsenio says he'd always promised himself that if he did make it, he'd do more than go to the bank.
What are we gonna do?
A series of anti-drug commercials is one way he's giving something back.
I told my parents that I was doing cocaine.
And what did they say?
I knew that I hurt them.
There are a lot of kids out there that do what I say. And I can't help everybody, but I'm going to try because I got the time and I got the light.
It's midnight.
Don't play so low they can hear me.
Under dim light in a Hollywood jazz club. Arsenio is still working, even though it may look like he's only fooling around.
It started to hurt after a while. It hurt.
He's developing a routine he'll use on the show 2 days later.
You did great. Watch this.
Oh, that worked just fine. Yeah. That worked just fine. I'm really a loner by nature, and I'm very distrusting.
Do you have that person that you trust now?
You asked me on the wrong day. I'm not quite sure.
Eddie Murphy.
I was thinking more of someone I can lay with.
Okay.
You have to keep in mind, Eddie and I are guys, and we're comedians. And if you're looking for someone sensitive to tell your problems to and he won't tell all the other fellas, wrong guy. And I'm not saying all guy friends are like that, but I can tell Eddie, man, I got a problem. Connie was over last night, and we were having this talk, and it's like, Eddie would be dialing the phone to tell people, as I'm telling him. It's like, Connie was at his house last night. You know, it's, it's a woman. I thought we were speaking of more.
We were.
Yeah.
I actually switched genders on you. There isn't a woman that you really feel close to right now.
Oh, there are a lot of women I feel close to. Most of my friends are women. I have this respect and love for women bordering on obsession. I was raised by Elizabeth, Annie, and Idella, my grandmother, my mother, and my godmother. So my best friends are women. The majority of my staff, women.
Ah, she knew we were coming. She never wears earrings. She knew we were coming.
I'll take them off. I'll take them off.
Marla Brown produces the Arsenio Hall show.
This is Sandy.
Hello. Straps and all.
From Kick It Sandy fame.
Or Bust a Move.
From, yeah.
And Sandy Fullerton directs.
The best director in television.
I trust them. They take care of me. They give me something that I don't have, that a man can't. See, I'm all the man I need to be. But women give you something intellectually, emotionally, that make me a better artist.
How are you? Has anyone told you your breast is hanging out?
When I said I love women and I respect women, there's another side of that. I also love women in that other way, too.
Just don't lean forward doing the jokes at any point during the show. Don't do this.
I'm a hound. You know, women, I should have had me calling him. But we have things now that kind of encourage you not to sleep around and be wild. And that's why I'm a one-woman man.
Oh, a one-woman man.
Yes.
On a given night, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
no, I'm not.
are.
No, I'm not. Wait, have you been in my bedroom, Connie?
No.
Okay, Connie.
Yes.
Okay. There was a time in my life when I was wild. And I'll tell you when it was. When you first hit this business, there's a realization that people are attracted to you for your position in the limelight. Women come up and say, I can make you scream words you've never pronounced before. And you say, my show must have been good tonight. I just think you have to get it out of your system. And I got it out of my system. And ain't nothing to it. You young guys out there, ain't nothing to it. Trust me.
Gordy, give us some funk, something.
You can't touch this.
Oh, yeah.
You can't touch this.
Oh, Lombard, no.
He may have gotten it out of his system, but he hasn't yet gotten it out of his show.
Don't this thing itch? This thing here?
It itches no more than a man's beard.
Oh.
The attitude he takes with some of his guests, well, it may just be the soft, plushy chairs, but sometimes it seems he's trying too hard. Some critics even use the word fawn. When you try and pump her stuff, it seems like you're fawning. And you're throwing her softballs and things like that.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm not Ted Koppel. I'm not there to throw hard balls. See, what people who do what
you gotta have some bite sometimes.
No, I don't have to have nothing. I've heard this word fawn 1,000,000 times. It is not a bad word to me.
Fawning all over a guest?
Exactly. It is not a bad word to me. I like my show, and I like the way I do it. If the people criticizing me could do it better than me, they'd have a show, and they'd be taking home the bank that I take home. Now, my publicist is freaking out behind you, but I could give a damn. This is Arsenio. This is another part of Arsenio.
So you're saying you take that?
Yes, I'm being honest. I grew up looking at Sammy Davis Jr. and saying, I admire that man.
But you know, at the same time...
So when he comes on, we have a term in the ghetto called proppers. And that's what you all call fawning. I give him his proppers. See, I'm an entertainer. I know the bad side of show business. I've had a club owner put a gun to my head and tell me he's not going to pay me. I have struggled. I have eaten in the supermarket while I walked through with a cart.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'll tell you exactly what it has to do with it. I respect entertainers and the struggle that they experience. And when a person is good at what they do and successful at what they do, they deserve some props. If you won't give it to them, and if your colleagues won't give it to them, my show is there to give it to them. There was a kid on my show last night. There was a kid on my show last night. There's a kid on my show last night. There was a kid on my show last night. There was a kid on my show. Kid on my show last night who was a basketball player from Harlem, and he's homeless. And I'm gonna fawn all over him. I'm gonna fawn all over him because he's got a scholarship to Maine.
Because I'd be happy about him
yes,
too.
He's got a scholarship to Maine now, and he got it against the odds. It ain't any old, no, it ain't any old body. The bottom line is, I designed this show to be a party. I designed this show for fun. And Connie, spread the word. I'm winning. I'm doing very well. So once again, in the great words of Dick Cavett, tell the critics who don't like what I do to change the channel, or kiss my ass.
Yes, we all got to strive for the top this year. Everybody, every one of you, reach for the top. That's where you'll find me.
You'll find Arsenio at the top of Paramount's star list for the next 6 years. He just signed a deal to star in 4 movies, and he'll be developing several other new television shows. About the last thing he told us was, in Hollywood, the days of blacks being just performers are over. Apparently, he's carving himself a piece of the pie. Don't go away. We'll be back in a moment. And that's our program for tonight. We'll be back next Monday night, same time as tonight. And I'll also be here with our regular program this Saturday night. That's 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central and Mountain Time. And on those 2 programs, we have a lot for you. A look at designing women's Dixie Carter and Jimmy Smits of LA Law. Also, what you have to stop doing to yourself. A popular diet that might be a dangerous diet. And cosmetic surgery junkies, people who just can't stop nipping and tucking. Oh, a personal note to my pal David Letterman. Dave has been saying on his show that he thinks I'm really upset with him because he won't come on my program next week. Dave, would I pout because you won't do it just this once? Something special for me? Nah. Would I try to get even in some way? Thanks for joining us. Good night. Is that you singing? It really is you singing on the other? Who is it?
It's me, baby. And I brought a few friends with me to sing background. Would you open the door, baby?
Journalists just will not let me have the little bit of talent that I have.
Good when you do what you do. You're the end of the line. I wanna stay with you.
We'd lie in bed and turn on one of those rerun shows, and she'd look at herself and say, "Did you think I was funny? Was I good?"
This is Ernie Anastas. Coming up next on Channel 2 News, the pictures were theirs, but the sound was from someone else's wedding. Arnold Diaz says, shame on you to a video service. And hear from the family whose child was rescued from the Steinberg home. Plus, what Gilda Radner didn't know about ovarian cancer could save your life. Coming up next on Channel 2 News.
For a transcript, please send $4 to Journal Graphics,